Esa-way-savaestia, which was the reason he was transferred from his previous dorm. I didn't know what that was, so he explained that it's a sleep disorder that may cause him to talk or yell in his sleep due to night terrors. He just wanted everyone in the suite to be aware of it so that we wouldn't feel uncomfortable. But to tell you the truth, after the first real conversation I had with the guy, he made me more uncomfortable than anything. I was hoping I'd get to know him on a more personal level. Find out he has a sleeping disorder. I also didn't entirely get why he thought it was necessary to tell me that. I texted in the dorm group chat, and Cody's still in it, and Rodney had told them as well about his sleeping disorder yet. They all said no, and followed that with laughter and confusion. When my other two suite mates got back later, we hung out in the common room, discussed why we thought Rodney's sleep disorder could have been the reason for him to be transferred from the previous dorm. Then Rodney walked in and right past us after giving us a slight suck. He went to his room and shut the door. We had the TV on loud, so we whispered amongst ourselves about it. That night, I heard a knock at my door in the middle of the night. I asked who it was, and no reply. I ignored it, and I thought to myself, what if it was Rodney? The next day, I asked my friends if either of them knocked on my door last night. They both texted me saying no. Cody was having a great laugh from all this. I was already freaked out. I was hoping this wouldn't be a regular thing, because it was disturbing already. A few nights later, it got worse. It was the middle of the night. I had already woken up, checked my phone, and saw 2 a.m. I heard footsteps outside in the little hallway of the common area, and again, a knock at my door. I didn't answer this time. I knew it was Rodney, and he was starting to freak me out. Clearly was a heavy sleepwalker. I texted the group chat again, right then and there at 2 a.m., telling them it just happened again. They didn't respond until morning time, saying they didn't hear anything. It must have been because Rodney's room was right next to mine. That day, I knocked on Rodney's door and asked him if it had been him knocking on my door in the middle of the night. He told me he had no recollection of doing so, and apologized, because he didn't mention that part of his parasomnia is sleepwalking. He told me he was completely harmless and to not worry. I didn't exactly view it as completely harmless if it was waking me up in the middle of the night and freaking me out. A certain amount of time passed that I can't remember, probably less than 4 days. There hadn't been any other random middle of the night knocks on the door, which I was happy about. But the story wouldn't be told if something else didn't happen. I woke up to noise in my room. I looked around the dark room and spotted Rodney in the corner
Pablo stepped up.
facing the wall, muttering to himself. I said Rodney's name. He turned in my direction and kept saying, open the door, open the door. I was genuinely disturbed. He looked in my direction, but it didn't seem like he was looking at me. Rather, he breathed. I saw a smile on his face, and what seemed to be a small laugh, as he walked out of the room and out of my view. I didn't know if I was supposed to wake him up or not. I know nothing about sleepwalking and sleep disorders. There was silence now. I grabbed my phone and was about to text my friends. I was interrupted by this deafeningly loud door outside, accompanied with Rodney's voice screaming, open the door. He was screaming it like a maniacal madman. I ran to the common area and saw him at the opposite end of the hall, thrashing his fists at one of our suitemates' doors. I ran to Rodney and started shaking him to wake up. My two friends came out of their rooms in a commotion as well. We all started to shake Rodney until he stopped, looked at all 3 of us, and with this blank look on his face, he said, sorry guys, and walked to his room and shut the door. The 3 of us stood there in shock, not even knowing what to say or do. The neighboring room must have called campus police because they showed up at our door. We had to tell them the truth. Rodney spoke with them for a while, then he went back to his room. I made sure not to leave my room unlocked again that night. The next day, Rodney was gone, without a trace of him ever having been there. Like I said, I know nothing about sleepwalking or any of that stuff. That didn't look like sleepwalking to me. I don't know what was or is there to go with that guy's head. He needs to get help. Martin Electronics has custom disconnect switches. Our disconnects are available in both used and non-used units in a variety of amps and voltages. Our enclosures are available in numerous star-rated for indoor and outdoor use and include protection against water, moisture, and freeze. Stainless steel units are also available.
Thank you.
Two guys in there. snacks, I don't stop once it's over. Because I know for a fact, if I had looked down that window, I would make it easier. I would be clear telling the story.
Y pásame una verga. O me pasas mi guerra que está en el congelador. Me dio la puta madre, espera. ¿Ya no es verde?
¿Eh?
¿Ya no es verde?
¿Ese es verde?
¡Verda!
¿Eh?
Coca.
No.
Te voy a partir tu madre para traer coca. Tráeme una coca. vergas.
Thanks. Great. I owe you. Too kind. Over there. Awesome. Thanks. Appreciate it. Awesome. Thanks. Too kind.
Te voy a partir tu madre, pato. Vete a la puta. ¿Qué haces conmigo? Ya. Te voy a partir tu madre, pato. Vete a la puta madre, pato.
¿Cuál es ahorita?
Eso.
And then Sam made it out.
I loved books, to be honest. This is alright. If you need any